Sup my dudes, Valk here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about artifacts and exactly which artifacts are really good at rank 5 and which ones you should focus on, and also one that's really slept on that you guys should take a look at. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. This is like my 5th time trying to record this, so I'm going to go really fast now. Anyways, first up is probably the best artifact in the game in my opinion because it has Genjutsu. At rank 5, the Eternal Eye, the Mangekyo Sharingan, obtains the Genjutsu ability which sees the enemy into walking the wrong way. This is the best crowd control ability on an artifact, and I'll explain why in a second. But Genjutsu duration 3 seconds, Genjutsu cooldown 14 seconds. So you get them to walk back for 3 seconds, and then 11 seconds later it'll reapply because the 3 seconds count towards the 14 seconds. The cooldown doesn't start whenever it ends, it starts when it's applied. At least I believe that's how it works. I could be wrong, but that's how I'm understanding it works. So you have a really good uptime with the Mangekyo Sharingan. You compare that to the Hero's Hair. Hero's Hair is 0.6 second knockback with a 28 second cooldown. Not even close. It's really not even close. Hero's Hair really needs a buff in terms of the crowd control, but it's good for other reasons, which we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, the Mangekyo Sharingan in terms of crowd control is absolutely the best artifact. Really damn good. So then we get into the other meta artifact, the Utu no Mi. Utu no Mi is insanely powerful because once you get to rank 5, you get the revered bonus to it. You get all that going because revered bonus makes it so you get a damage boost to all enemies or all units around you. It's a 15% damage boost to all units around you, and then you get a coin gain increase by 35% to all units around you as well. So the units around you get a good coin gain increase, which is really good for boosting up Bulma super early and being able to take advantage of that. Next up is Key of Kings, another very meta artifact. Whenever you reach rank 5, you gain the King's Treasure upgrade cost reduction. On placement cost reduction, you get this. You get King's Vault. This is from R1. So at R10, you're able to get placement cost reduction 30%. And at R10, you also get upgrade cost reduction 20%. And unlike the, unlike the Nimbus Cloud, this doesn't limit you on placements. So you can still, if you have 3 placement units, you can still use 3 placements with the Key of Kings. So those are the big meta artifacts. Those are the big ones. Those 3 kind of rule everything in every game mode. There's obviously other options that you have, like the Death Note's really good. I don't believe Death Note gets anything new at R5. I could be wrong. Yeah, it just gets an increase to the HP threshold. The only other one that I know gets something good at this. Elemental Mastery makes the unit's element always strong against the enemy. Doesn't matter yet because Elemental Mastery, our elemental advantage, doesn't exist in the game yet. As far as that goes, I don't believe there's any others that gain this. Oh, this one. Let's see. Slightly increased damage and reduced upgrade cost. Upgrade cost reduced. Upgrade cost reduction by 2%. That's, I'm gonna be real, that's pretty useless. That is, yeah. Yep. That is definitely a thing. As far as that goes, I know you get bleed on this, but you can see the bleed is, it doesn't exist. Hemorrhage damage by 5%, 5% bleed. That's not, yeah, you're not doing anything with that. That's virtually useless. So yeah, I think that's all for the R5s, except for All Might's Hair, which we'll go over in a second. I don't think Hollow Mask has anything crazy as well. I can see real quick. Actually, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the Hollow Mask. Do I have anything that I can even do this with? Never mind. We're not going to take a look at the Hollow Mask. Your boy has no XP whatsoever. So we're just going to ignore it, act like I didn't see that, and go, Hollow Mask, I don't know if it gains anything special at R5. I'm not 100%, but I do know a lot of them gain powerful abilities at R5. And now I want to talk about the Hero's Hair specifically. So, what makes Hero's Hair good? It's not the knockback, I'm going to be honest. This sucks. But if you manage to get an epic one to R10, you get a you get lots of bonuses, really good bonuses. So, Full Cowling has a bunch of bonuses it gives you, as well as a very powerful suffix, and increases range by 70%. And then on top of it, with the 70% range increase, you are able to go ahead and get at 5% SPA reduction, 30% damage increase, and then 10% crit chance increase. The mythic version has slightly better, but it's not really worth it because you lose 5% damage, but you have 6% speed decrease and 13% crit chance increase. So, and also, you know, you have less range because the suffixes are always the same no matter what rarity it is. So yeah, we're going to use the epic one just in terms of the showcase, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how good this is. As you guys can see, the rank 5 effects kind of make or break a lot of artifacts. That's why artifact tier lists are going to be very diverse whenever you look at them. So let's go ahead, let's get into it really quickly. I believe, no, I already lowered the volume. Yeah, I'm good. I had the volume really loud because every time Roblox like self updates, it gets really loud for some reason. So yeah, just always gotta make sure to lower that. So we're gonna put, if you guys are curious why we're putting Sakura right next to Bulma off rip, is because the Uta Uta no Mi is going to increase the coin generation, so we get more money like that, and more money lets us play the game better. So we're gonna go ahead and max out Bulma really quickly, because wave 0 strategy, go burr. And then you guys can see Key of Kings putting in work here, making it extremely cheap to get through all the upgrades as Bulma. And then we're going to go ahead and do this, and now we're going to place Broly. And because we have the hero's hair on him, Broly's going to have a very funny range off rip. This is his range on placement, and I have not hit a single upgrade yet. This is just what his range is with hero's hair, with 70% extra range. Due to the hero's hair, you guys can see he has 20% crit rate, 6.7 SPA, really, really damn good. So now if I actually go ahead and I start upgrading it, you guys can see how silly it gets very quickly. And this is what hero's hair does. This is why I think it's a pretty underrated artifact. I don't think it's like insanely meta, because like I said, I think right now, whenever you're doing really difficult content, things like crowd control, etc. are going to be way better. But this is definitely something I'm keeping my eye on to abuse in the future, because I think it's really good. It's just like I said, I think abusing crowd control right now is significantly better, and the crowd control effect of the hero's hair is virtually useless. So yeah, you guys can see exactly how good this is. Now if I go ahead and, here's the other thing, is the way crit buffers work. The way Sakuya works and the way Nami works is they buff crit based off your base amount. So because he has 20% base crit like this, right? He has 20% crit. I'll be able to go with Nami, come behind him, and do this. So now that 20% base crit is going to get buffed by 25%. So it should be a little bit over 30, because there's also the Mythic Ascension bug, which if you guys don't know what the Mythic Ascension bug is, any unit that is mythically ascended that buffs or generates money, it does not buff or generate money to the correct value. It's actually more. So Broly now has 33% crit rate instead of 30, where he should be having, no, he should be having 30, right? Let me see. No, okay, so he shouldn't be having 30, he should be having 25. But you guys get the idea. Instead of 25, he has 33%. But now he has access to this crazy crit damage value as well, because, once again, Mythic Ascension bug, and then you guys can see the range on top of it. So now, just one Nami, I'm not even Nami stacking, has given him 166 range value, which is nuts. Now, if we actually go ahead and Nami stack, you can get to see something very funny. So we're just going to Nami stack for a second. If you guys don't know what Nami stacking is, each one of Nami's upgrades stacks independently on its own, so you are able to do very funny stuff. We're going to do this, actually. I don't want Nami to buff Nami, so we're going to push her over here. Go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright. She buffed herself there. Gotta wait for the buff to time out. Alright, cool. So now she can no longer buff her, and then that would allow me to do this, 1, 2, 3, which then in turn cannot buff that. So now, what do you guys think Broly's range is at? I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's going kind of far, ain't it? So if I click Broly, he's at 475 range. 94% crit rate using Nami stacking. Yeah, this is pretty funny, ain't it? You guys can see exactly how silly it gets. If I were to like sell and replace Broly and go bottom path, it's just as funny. Like, it gets really silly very quickly. It's really funny. It's really cool to play with. The hero's hair, I do believe, is going to have value in the future, but right now I think it does need a little bit of a buff on the crowd control capabilities, because comparing it to Genjutsu, 0.6 seconds for a knockback with about double the cooldown is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, you guys get the idea. Let's go ahead. I want to do this real quick for my own curiosity, right? We're going to sell Broly real fast. We're going to come here. We're going to go bottom, and we're going to wait. And we're going to full send bot path Broly in a second. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. But you guys can see the range that he has. Like, even just these two upgrades. Like, look at this range. Look how fast Broly has to just run down the thing. That's so funny. Alright, so we're going to do this. Because he's going to be able to apply the DOT to take out the shields. So that's going to be really important. Alright, cool. Now Broly go. Broly angry. And look at the AoE on this. Full AoE. What is this? A 100,000 attack stat. Yeah. Yeah, funny. Yeah, this is why Hero's hair is pretty entertaining, because it allows you to do some really funny stuff like this. Yeah. All in all, I think Hero's hair might be worth your time, but hopefully this video at the same time helps you guys decide on like meta artifacts, because the 3 artifacts I listed at the beginning, whenever there are 5, are absolutely meta. Key of Kings, Uta Uta no Mi, and then the Mangekyo Sharingan are some of the 3 best artifacts in the game. And then the rest of the artifacts, whatever artifacts you're using outside of those 3, really depends on the game mode you're running. Like Death Note's going to be really good in Challenge Rift, as well as Infinites. And then you also have the Hyokugyu and Philosopher's Stone, stuff like that for Infinites, and Dragon Radar for Infinites as well. But then there's also like ones that are just really good inside Challenge Rift, which is like CEO hat, etc. In Infinites, you don't need CEO hat as much because you don't need as much money. But in Challenge Rift, it's very important to have CEO hat. Stuff like that, basically. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching as always. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.